I just think we're just talking too much about Donald Trump. So let's get back to the fact that this is the 175th anniversary of the Seneca Convention, where women came together. One good man, Frederick Douglass, came together to declare not only are all men created equal, but all men and women are created equal and entitled to their rightful roles in our society. So it's 175 years today. Imagine the courage it took for those women to leave home, some without needing permission from their husbands, fathers, or whatever to do so, some going without that. And we're still fighting. Since then, we have expanded freedom in our country for women, eventually the right to vote, other protections for women and the rest, until 1 year ago, the overturning of Roe v. Wade. And so we have work to do.
We should mention Speaker Emerita Pelosi has a new piece published just this morning for MSNBC.com. The title is, "It's been 175 years since history was made at Seneca Falls, and we're still fighting." And in it, you write about the courage it took for this group of visionary women who met in Seneca Falls, New York in 1848, speaking openly about issues of discrimination, disenfranchisement, and domestic violence. You then highlight some of the gains that women have made since then, but you go on to write, quote, "Yet outrageously, our centuries-long march toward gender justice was abruptly halted last summer when the Republican supermajority on the Supreme Court took a wrecking ball to women's health freedom. For the first time in our history, girls growing up today have less freedom than their mothers. Democrats will not rest until the rights of Roe are restored for all. At the same time, women still face too many barriers in the workplace. Gender justice starts with finally achieving equal pay for equal work. And we must ease the burden of caregiving that falls disproportionately on women by investing in the expanded child tax credit, universal child care, paid family and medical leave, home health care services, and more. This is imperative, the ongoing work of the Biden-Harris administration. So I would like to ask you, though, because personally I feel really scared for our women and girls in terms of women's health rights. What is the way forward? Because it does feel like we are completely turning around and going backwards in time.
Well, one would think that in terms of this court. But elections have ramifications. And this Republican House right now, can you imagine, not one of them voted for our Women's Health Act, the Judy Chu legislation, which would enshrine Roe v. Wade as law of the land. 3 of them voted for women to be able to travel from one state to the next in order to have access to reproductive health care. 8 of them, 8 members of the Republican House of Representatives, out of 222, whatever they have, 222, 8 of them voted to have women have access to contraception. So this is complete disrespect for women. And it is, as I say, women, they're not for birth control, but they are for controlling women. So we just have to make sure that women speak up. And it's not partisan. This is about women coming together and speaking up. And what women saw when they marched the day after what's-his-name's inauguration is showing up counts for a lot. Showing up, women marched, women ran, and women voted, women won. We have to do that again. It is absolutely essential. And by the way, this is Bidenomics. This is Bidenomics. President Biden had, people asked me, how did it feel when you were sitting there with a woman vice president of the United States, woman speaker of the House, when the president made the State of the Union address? I said, it's exciting. I love Kamala. She's a Californian. We watched her career. We're so proud of her. But what was really exciting was the speech that the president made for all the things that you mentioned: Biden child tax credit, family and medical leave, equal pay for equal work, home health care workers, so that women could rightfully take their role in the workplace. And when women succeed, we believe America succeeds. So thank you, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, for their leadership, but also the Democrats in the Congress. Unfortunately, so far, that's about, we'd like it to be bipartisan. We have to make sure that when women vote, they make sure that who they vote for know what they care about.
I mean, isn't it remarkable, though, Republicans understand, they have to understand the political consequences, Madam Speaker, of their extreme position. So when 10-year-old girls have to flee the state of Ohio after they've been raped, when you have candidates talking about how girls being raped by their uncles are perfect examples of why there aren't any exceptions. In Wisconsin, you have an abortion, complete abortion ban going back to 1849 that Republicans keep on the book. And yet they get wiped out in Wisconsin. They get wiped out in Kansas. They lose in Kentucky. They lose in these red states. And yet they can't seem to help themselves. They stay with these extreme positions. And I think it's safe to call them extreme positions when 90% of Americans are opposed to abortion laws that have no exceptions for rape, incest, life of the mother. I mean, it's extreme. Do you not see any movement among your Republican peers in the House and a growing understanding that they are in the extremist part of the American electorate?
Well, thank you for spelling it out that way. We had a big victory in Wisconsin, as you alluded to, and Judge Janet will take office soon. And so we hope that that will help us, because redistricting has a lot to do with this. You know, in the last election, people said we were going to lose 40 seats because I was incorrectly focusing on women's right to choose, on democracy, on climate, on gun violence protection. They said that's not the issue. And what did we lose? We lost 5 seats. We lost 5 seats in New York, but we won in the rest of the country because Roe v. Wade was not, as our Democratic even opponents were saying, is in the rearview mirror. Roe v. Wade was front and central to women in terms of their well-being. It's a health issue, it's an economic issue, it's a respect issue, and the rest. And women know. And so, again, when women vote, women win, and women's ideas. And again, we don't want this to be partisan. I keep saying, take back your party, Joe, to Republicans. Take back your party. This is a grand old party. It had been part of Planned Parenthood right from the start, environmental protection right from the start. And what is it going on to be a cult to a thug? But that's a whole other issue. I don't want to talk about him. But thank you so much, Mika, for your promotion of women and success of women and showcasing so much of that. But yes, again, when women succeed, America succeeds, or any country succeeds. We're talking about women in Afghanistan. I wear their ring close to my heart. Women in Iran, women in Ukraine rape is becoming a weapon of war. This whole disrespect for women is something that is really connected, and it shouldn't be happening in the United States of America.